Hi everybody. Here I am. I'm Maria Ocampo from MoXi, and this is our storytelling section. Now I am here with my friend Harry Schikora. I am very glad that he accepted the invitation to have this interview with all of us. And well, he is the current president of the real estate agents in Los Cabos, AMPI. So I invited him just to tell us a little bit about his story. Harry, thank you very much to be here with me.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm always glad to participate in these types of events. And, of course, Cabo is my home. I can't imagine being anywhere else now. But for a while, I was plodding away up in Alaska.
Okay, tell us your story. How come that you are from Alaska and you ended here in Cabo, and now you are the president of all the realtors of Cabo? So let us know how it happened.
Well, it started out, my dad was an avid fisherman and we had like 13 fishing camps in Alaska that we would travel around to go fishing, depending on what was running at the time, because there's like 5 to 7 different species of salmon that are good to fish for that, we would travel to different places for. And when it would get cold in Alaska and everything would freeze up, then my dad would pack up the family and we'd come down here to Mexico. And my first trip was in 1974. After my dad's first trip was, I believe, 1973, and he was originally going over to Hawaii with his friends from Alaska you got to go to Hawaii, and that was during the Don Ho days, and it was too busy for my dad. He wanted something a little quieter, so it turns out that the Tropic of Cancer runs right above the Hawaiian Islands and through the tip of Baja, and that is where most of the major IGFA, the International Game Fish Association, records for fish are caught. So he came here, fell in love, decided to buy a place, and bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, about 1,800 square feet on a half acre right on the beach in Buena Vista by Los Barriles. And we started coming down, and I came down pretty much every year until my dad passed away, and then I started coming down even more because I inherited a little house out in Buena Vista. So, and I've had that house for 35 years, I think, something like that, quite a while. Anyway, that's kind of how I ended up down here.
Okay, that's awesome. So, Harry, tell us. There's a lot of people that are asking, like, you're the president of the real estate agents here in Cabo, and a lot of agents have this question: that how should I be affiliating to an association of real estate agents in Mexico? Because there's a lot of real estate agents in Mexico that they don't belong to an association. Or what would you think that it's important, since your perspective, to belong to an association like AMPI?
Well, I am a broker for a real estate agency here in Los Cabos, and I'm also the president of the National Association of Realtors here, which is AMPI Los Cabos. And my main goal and objective as president is to make sure that all of the real estate agents that are licensed here in the state are members. And that's something that, recently has come into play, is licensing here. So I'd always recommend, and it's very important, that anybody that's purchasing property deal with a licensed, registered professional that has training, and that's part of the reason that the National Association of Realtors and AMPI is so important here, is that we are one of the conduits for being able to get that kind of training and assisting people with certifications and the actual pre and post licensing education requirements, the connoisseur certifications, which are certifications of competency, and all of the things that people would need to have to be able to professionally sell real estate here. And of course, if you're going to spend, which is typically the largest or second largest, purchase that somebody makes, is their home or their secondary vacation home or investment property. A lot of people come here that are looking to invest in an Airbnb money machine. It only makes sense that you want to protect yourself as much as possible in that type of transaction.
Yeah, because there's a lot of in the whole country. I'm not talking about particularly Los Cabos. Cabos, I think it's the market that it's more like it's more oriented to have this kind of professionalism in the real estate agents, that they have to be licensed. What do you think it would be like? What is important when you are thinking about buying a second home as a not only as a national person, but most important for all the people from U.S. and other countries that are looking at Cabo for a place to invest and to buy a property? Why would you tell them that why it's important to have a licensed agent that is taking care of you in all the process of buying a property?
Mostly because of the follow through. Nobody needs a lawyer until you need a lawyer. And same with real estate agents. Nobody needs a real estate agent until you need a real estate agent, somebody that's trained and able to untangle difficult situations where people, pass away, people die, there's clouds on title, there's issues with paperwork. And if you're not dealing with somebody who is specifically trained in that type of endeavor, then it's very likely that you can end up with somebody that, maybe was a cab driver last week or something like that. So, and no disrespect to cab drivers.
And it is true. There's a lot of people that they were like housekeeping, or they were doing like things, and they became real estate agents from one day to the other. And like you said, it's not like they cannot allow to do this profession, but they have to be certificated. They have to study. Because, as you said, whenever the troubles or whatever, it's not like, and also in this kind of market right now, it's very important to know how to talk about return of investment when you're buying a property.
Yes, very much so. And it's important to know, that ROI, that return on investment, and to be able to identify which properties might not be as good an investment because of either location or the construction techniques or the way that it's been modified or adapted to whatever the environment is. There's a lot involved in building in an area like Los Cabos and Baja California Sur. I'm blessed that I've been able to, be invited to participate with like Profeco, the Consumer Protection Agency of Mexico. I'm on the board of directors with them. And my tenure as the president with the National Association of Realtors here has really opened my eyes to the way that the Mexican people protect themselves and protect the public in the way that they purchase and build and sell these properties here. I can't state enough how important it is that you deal with a professional that is going to be able to help you attain your goals, because if you don't, you will regret it.
Thanks, Harry. To close this interview, would you like to share with us how, from your perspective, how is the market right now in Cabo? Because as we all know that after pandemia and during and after pandemia, there was a boom in the market, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And what I have seen in the last 2 years here in Cabo is that there are a lot of new developments, and people from all over the country came to be real estate agents in Cabo, because it was like kind of, oh my God, this is the land of opportunity. So, from your perspective, what is going on right now in the face to the future?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, The reality is that when COVID hit, in the United States and in Canada, I believe, the real estate agents were considered, what do they call it, essential workers. And here, we were not considered essential workers. So there was a major downturn when COVID hit in people being able to actually buy or sell or look at or even process the transaction because the government agencies were closing down. And then once the COVID scare ended and travel was restored and people started coming, and Mexico was one of the only countries that never shut down the travel. People could come to Mexico the entire time during COVID, but of course many people didn't. So there was very little that was taking place at that time. And then once COVID ended, okay, and people were starting to travel, then we were descended on like locusts. And you were talking about how many people came here and wanted to be real estate agents because the market was so hot. It literally, you could not keep a property for more than just a few days if it was something that could be Airbnb'd and show a positive net return in a short amount of time. So everything under $300,000 just vanished in essentially a month, 2 months, something like that. And then there was the housing boom. Right now, we currently are seeing about a 50% increase in construction permits for people and developments that are building homes or building, projects here in Baja California Sur. One of the things that people have to be very careful of, not to outstrip, is the resources. So we need to make sure that there's enough water to facilitate that construction and support the construction that's being done. And we also have to make sure that the infrastructure, including the utilities, power, water, phone, data, whatever it is that are going to need to support those particular construction projects, are available and are not outstripped to where it degrades the service that's currently available. So what we're seeing now is the properties that were being constructed over the last couple of years are coming to fruition and hitting the market. So in my last report that I sent out, which was just a couple of days ago regarding market statistics, we're showing about a 30 to 40% decrease in the number of sales that were taking place this year in March over March of last year. And the reason for that is that we're just not seeing as much, available inventory, or there's more inventory hitting the market right now, but a lot of habitable inventory. A lot of it is pre-construction that was sold. So we are seeing a little bit of downward pressure on the market right now with inventory that's under construction and resales that are coming on the market. Our time on the market has increased from about 8 months to 16 months over the last year. So we're seeing longer market times, and the absorption rate, which is the amount of properties that are currently available. If we didn't take any more listings, how many months of available inventory would last, or how long it would last at the current absorption rate, or how many properties are being sold in a month. So we're seeing an increase in that as well. And so the overall prospectus is that you're going to see some deals that are coming on the market. More people are looking to buy properties here, so there is going to be a constant demand, and you're going to see an opportunity to be able to create those types of investments with a reasonable to higher ROI, return on investment, for those people that are looking for different types of investment vehicles other than their 401k or traditional investments that you would normally find in the United States or abroad.
Okay, Harry, well, one last minute. What do you think about financing for foreigners?
Well, I mean, I think that what I've seen so far, I was at a real estate conference here last Friday, and was talking with Alex of MoXi, And he was telling me a little bit about what his concept was on things, and I think that we are going to see a definite increase in the amount of financing that you're going to see down here through private lender sources, either like the private lenders that are available now, like MoXi, and there are a couple other options as well. But you're going to see more interaction with people using those types of available resources to achieve their goals, in addition to non-standard forms of investment, like pulling money out of 401ks or a HELOC, a home equity line of credit on existing properties in the States. But thankfully, we're seeing an increase in the amount of lending that's taken place down here, both domestically and internationally. So I see good things, a lot of potential, and my own tagline: if you're not here, you should be. See you in Cabo.
Thank you very much for being here, Harry. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing all his knowledge and his story with us. Thank you very much, and see you later.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Good
Bye-bye.
to see you guys.